So as a beginner, there's so many things you can do immediately that'll just make your design just 10 times better off of something super easy. So today I want to show you guys really cool techniques to make your designs pop. And if you guys would like this to be a series, I'm totally down. So let me know. Do not forget about the everything pack, the first link in the description, the product where you basically get all of my 32 products for one purchase, and then every other product that I come out with for free via Sellfy. You should know about it. All right, let's go. So let's start off with some background tips. First one, like the rest, are incredibly simple, but make a huge difference in the end result, and that is a gradient or brush hit. Naturally, when composing composition, you might look at a product and say there's something missing. Usually, you can pinpoint it to texture, depth, or just like white space is the basic three. But by simply taking your brush and finding a lighter color than your background color, this is also a skill in itself. Just choose your background color, move it a little bit further up, and maybe you have to move your hue a little bit up or down, never too much, never too far usually. Afterwards, you want to create a angled brush hit with 0% hardness brush, and it honestly adds a lot already. To most of you, it's probably not new, but you can double click on the layer, of course, and open up the layer styles and try adding a pattern overlay to the brush hit as well. If you guys don't have any starter brushes, you can definitely download the free ones that I put in the description down below today. But of course, when you have that pattern overlay, you want to change the blend mode to something like soft light, overlay, or divide. And now you've created another form of texture outside, of course, the gradient hit itself. And I think it just looks really fire. And it also adds a lot when people start paying attention to the design. Next is a classic, and it's the linear dodge brush hit to create a glow. Start by selecting a background color, or maybe even like the object color sometimes, like even it's a person or the jersey they're wearing or something like that. But it has to be darker than the color selected. So for me, I selected my purple background, then I dragged my color picker further down towards the bottom to make the tone even darker. On a new layer, place it on top of everything, meaning moving all the way up, and select in a few spots with a decent sized brush to make sure the glow spreads well. Otherwise, it's gonna look like very hyper focused and really awkward. But then afterwards, you wanna change your blend mode from normal to linear dodge add, and now you have these simple glow hits that add some form of depth and atmosphere and just looks, you know, really good as well. You guys have seen the trend? The trick is to press Ctrl U on your actual glow layer to pop up your hue and saturation table and play with the lightness to increase the glow or even darken the glow. You can also adjust the saturation for the color or adding less color. And then of course that hue bar right at the top, if you move it a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, sometimes it just gives a better color for your composition. So for this one, I went 6 years without even knowing about blend if. It's a very ignorable thing in the layer style settings. So if you were to toss in a texture and open up your layer styles, right under the blending options is blend if right at the very bottom. Sometimes when you love a texture and you flip through the blend modes, nothing really stands out and you kind of maybe still love the texture, but you just can't figure out how to use it. You been there? And then usually what you might go ahead and do is you might say, here, if I just erase some right over here, it might look better, but often you're left with some erasing blobs that kind of just ruin your composition in this case. Always try blend if before giving up on the texture. Take the black slider and move it inwards to actually slowly take away the black or the shadows away from the current layer, and that white slider, when you move it to the left, it'll do the same exact thing for the whites or the highlights. Underlying layer does the exact same thing, but actually targets the layers below it and not the current layer that you have selected, so sometimes it's hit or miss. You can also split the slider by holding Alt to slow the process down, whether if you're getting rid of the highlights or the shadows. But when you look at it, you now have a lot less texture to start with before you start erasing, which can make those blobs a little less obvious and just make your composition that much better. Now to end off, I want to focus quickly on your objects to make them pop. In this case, I'm referring to shadows. For the record, shadows are understood as fairly difficult when approaching design because it requires sometimes a skill that graphic designers just don't practice a lot, which is probably just drawing and referencing. I didn't pay attention in drawing too. I did, but I was stuck making like hairs. So I'm that designer, but I still like trying to do quick shadows sometimes for my projects, and this is how I can give it to you guys. So my technique for this is honestly in 4 simple steps. Kinda. First, of course, if you have your subject already cut out, of course, make a duplicate of that subject because this will be our shadow layer. You want to press Ctrl U and set the lightness all the way down to -100 to make it black. And then you want to press Ctrl T to free transform. Then hold Ctrl and select the middle top anchor point and drag it down to the left or the right if you want it behind, or you can extend it further if you want to put it in the front of the object. Of course, lay it close to where you feel like it looks like a shadow, and then you're just going to set it, okay? Now, right click on the active current free transform selection and choose distort. Of course, you want to line up the bottom of the object just a tiny bit if it's not already, but also sometimes you want to fix the shadow where it should be touching, for instance, right here for me, or even sometimes erase it just to kind of make it feel a little more natural. But also be sure you're using 100% hardness brush because of course the object cutout itself should be pretty like not blurry, right? Once you've set your shadow, you want to of course open up a blur gallery and choose field blur. The first anchor should actually be near their feet, where the other anchor should be near their head. The shadow closest to the subject should actually have a lot less blur. So for me, that's going to be the feet that I have set at 6 compared to the head where it actually is a bit further away. And for that, I have around 48 blur. Once you guys are done with that, you want to add a layer mask to your shadow layer and select select the gradient tool, make sure of course it's a gradient from black to white, and select the feet to the head to apply the gradient. This should make it so that the side of the shadow that's close to the subject is the darkest. The further away of course you get from it, it's going to be less dark. So if you do have to adjust the gradient that you just made, of course you can unlink it from the layer and just move the actual layer mask itself to kind of figure that out. Then really all you're left to do is just kind of set the opacity of the entire overall layer, and there's your honest quick shadow. Just because there is a bonus here, if you do make a new layer, clip mask it to your actual like full colored object layer, and right near the feet with like a 20% opacity brush, you just kind of paint right near the bottom of the foot. It'll really help it actually set the object where it should land. But yeah, that is your starter quick shadow in a nutshell. And with that also concludes the end of the video here today, where I feel like I gave you pretty solid tips. Now for the record, if you guys do want me to continue doing it, let me know. And I have like too many. So if you guys do enjoy these types of videos, or just kind of give you guys a bunch of quick rooted tips, random even, let me know and I'll of course do them. But with that, do not forget to check out the everything pack down below in the description, the first link as always. But also that being said, Seso HQ out. Do not forget to keep smiling, stay positive, and stay freaking guys. Little much love, peace. Enjoy your day. And don't forget to leave a like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Later.